Okay. Hello. My name is Helen Gotte, and this is my oral presentation on Yorkshire Terriers. This is my dog, Boo. So everyone has their preference on animals. Some people like cats, some people like dogs, some people like fish even. There's different types of breed. There's Yorkshire Terriers, Boston Terriers, German Shepherds, Boxers, all different kinds of breeds. My preference is, of course, a Yorkshire Terrier. With his long silky coat, perky little nose, his little button nose, they are one of the most glamorous dogs in the world and definitely attracts attention. They're small in stature, as you can see by him. He's not got very long legs. They range between 4 to 6 pounds. Boo here is 5 pounds, and he's a miniature Yorkie. There's 3 different types, which we will get into later. So he's right in the middle on his weight, plus the type of Yorkie he is. They're about 8 to 9 inches tall. So he's about 9. He's a taller Yorkie. He's a little longer as well. The different types of Yorkies, there are a regular size, which are bigger than Boo, which I've seen one, and they are more towards the 10 pound than just a 9. Or 6 pounds. There's miniature, which is what Boo is, and then there are teacups. Regular size are probably the easiest to have because they do not have as many health problems. The smaller Yorkie you get, the more health problems they will have. Miniatures, as Boo is, he has a little bit of skin eczema, but that's about all the problems that he has. Teacups, they are very hard with their health problems. Skin problems especially. My father has a Yorkie, and the dog is in the vet all the time because of its skin. They're very hard to take care of with their skin. Their personalities, known to be very yappy. You'll hear that about small dogs. People don't like small dogs because they can be kind of yappy. But they are very protective. He is so yappy because if somebody comes into my room while I'm sleeping, he's going to eat them alive. Even though he's 5 pounds, he is still going to do his best to protect his owner. They are very protective. That is what I love so much about Yorkies, is how protective they are. Many people say that they are mainly protective towards one person, their owner, the person that takes care of them. But if I'm not here, he's very protective for my mother. He will protect anyone that's around, especially my niece, who is 3. That is his favorite person besides me. He will do anything to protect her. They are super loving and caring towards their owner, their main owner. They usually have one main owner. The big dog in a small dog body is a perfect description of that dog. He thinks he's 80 pounds is what he thinks. He thinks he's a German Shepherd. Even though they are so little, they do have great protective instincts. Potty training. Very hard to train a Yorkie. I'm telling you, it is probably one of the hardest things I've ever gone through. We got him when he was 2, and crate training is best for Yorkies. Crate training is probably the easiest way to train a Yorkie. You leave them in the crate when you're not here, and then you take them out regularly. Yorkies do better with longer walks, which, same thing with us. To stay fit, to work out, it's better for our bodies. With them, it's as well better for them. If they have long walks, it's better for them. He uses the restroom more. Since he's a boy, he likes to mark, so he doesn't have one bladder release. He needs to go a couple times to mark the different trees and everything. Even though he is neutered, he still needs to do that. Puppy pads, he does use puppy pads in my room, and he knows where he needs to go in his little tray, but he does very well on them. He sometimes has accidents because he is a boy. Boys are very hard to potty train with the marking. But he will go outside. If you say you want to go potty, he knows to go outside. Their stomachs are very delicate. I've learned so much about their stomachs because he was having a little bit of stomach issues. You feed them table food. They get into cat food. You change their food. All of those can be contributions to why their stomach will be more delicate. You cannot change their food. I mean, you don't have to get specialty food, but you have to stay consistent. We just get an original Beneful, and it works perfect for him. He doesn't eat a lot. One full bowl will last him 2 to 3 days. He's not protective over his food, which, some dogs are. They stay really over his bowl, but he's never wanted for food, so he's not as protective as some dogs can be. Water is a big thing for him. That's the one thing that you don't mess with him. His water bowl has to be full. He loves water. I fill it up in the morning and at night, and it's usually gone by the time I get home. And I mean, it's a big water bowl. So they love water almost as much as I do. Some Yorkies are not very social with other animals. He's raised with a boxer and a half Australian Shepherd, half Alaskan Malamute. And with cats, he loves cats. He wants to be friends with everybody. Anybody's dog that comes over, Boo wants to be friends with. Anything he can do to be friends with another animal, even though they don't like him, he wants to be friends with them. Most Yorkies are not that way because sometimes they aren't raised with other animals, because usually people that have Yorkies just have the one little dog, because they do take a lot of work even though they are so little. They usually are aggressive to bigger dogs. Boo is not that way. He does not get aggressive towards a bigger dog. He just wants to play. That's his main thing. He actually gets more scared of children because children can hurt him more than a bigger dog can in his mind, because he doesn't get aggressive towards them, so they usually don't get aggressive towards him. He just wants to smell you. But sometimes they do think they are bigger, and so they will try to hurt the bigger dog even though they are only 5 pounds. Their adaptability. Yorkies are so great with adaptability. I can't say that enough, how well they are at adapting to a new home. This is his 3rd home. His first home, he had one lady. She had a lot of time for him, and she ended up not being able to take care of him when she moved to Dallas because she got a more strenuous job. So she sold him to a friend of my mother's, and they had 7 kids, so they just didn't have time for him. And so we got him, and so he's been my dog since I was 17 years old. He will be 8 in January, so we've had him since he was 2. So he is just happy as can be here. So he is so sweet with me and everyone. So from day one, they dropped him off. He was ready to be in the family. So usually Yorkies, you can take them places. You can take them on trips, and they do adapt well to a hotel room, wherever. As long as they have a place to eat and go to the bathroom, they are usually okay. They do adapt well to new situations, but sometimes it is hard for other dogs. But for Yorkies, they usually do have good adaptability. I think their adaptability is so well because they are a bold animal, because he is so aggressive in a way. He stands up for himself. He's going out for the challenge. He has no problem doing that. So I think their boldness does help with their ability to adapt well to a situation. Because he is not scared of new situations at all. He'll walk out here, walk into a new house, and sniff around and becomes friends with everyone, which is great in a dog. You don't want your dog to go somewhere and be scared, and then make people scared of them. That's not the kind of dog I want. And so I love that he can walk into a room and people just want a dog like him because he is so sweet. And small children, Boo's second best favorite person is my niece. She's 3 years old. He goes right up to her. He's very protective of her. Anyone gets too close to her that he doesn't think should be, he is barking and wanting to eat them alive. Small children do make him a little nervous because sometimes they'll grab you and squeeze you too hard, and so it is very hurtful for him because he is so little. I mean, they pick him up and drop him, they could hurt his legs very easily. Even though he is a larger Yorkie, it still could hurt him. So small kids do make him nervous. He doesn't ever bite at them or anything, napping or so some Yorkies do that when small children get too close to him because they're not used to them being in their face. So whenever a small child gets to him, they kind of nip at him, which it's a defensive mechanism. He is not that way. He is very loving to everyone. He's always been around small children, so it's very easy for him to meet new children and like them. So I think also he likes somebody on his level that he can play with, so it's very easy for him to love somebody else because it is so great to have somebody on his level, you know. So to conclude, Yorkies are definitely cute and attention-grabbing dogs. As I said, 3 people have gotten Yorkies because of him. Now, are they as cute? No, but they all have gotten Yorkies based on meeting my dog because he is such a sweet dog and he is so lovable. He loves everyone. And a lot of Yorkies are like that. And they are just so darn cute. With their hair is so soft, like human hair. It's silky. Some Yorkies do have the more coarse hair, which is kind of like a horse's tail. Kind of more coarse, but his is more soft like human hair, just really soft, and you just want to rub it all the time. His little pointed button nose, he's just so precious with his big brown eyes. They are very small, and eating habits aren't hard to deal with as long as you don't change their food. Don't make any changes, and they will be fine. They don't have accidents and diarrhea if you don't give them stuff they're not supposed to have. Table food. Stick with, there are specialty dog food for Yorkies, but sometimes it's just sticking with the original Beneful works for us and it works for him. They do well with great new situations, as I said. He can go anywhere and be friends with everyone. Small children, they are very good with small children as long as they are around them from a young age. When you're used to something at a young age, you grow up being used to it. You aren't scared of it. Bill and I really hoped you learned a lot about Yorkshire Terriers and hope you decide to adopt rescue. Rescuing is the best thing you can do for an animal because you can give them a home when they've been scared their whole life, not being in a good place. And there are some Yorkies out there where you can get, where you can help them. Any kind of animal would be great, but save a dog. Have a good day.